my name is Simone Bennett, and welcome to School's Not Out, your daily classroom for CSEC and CAPE students. You can watch this on real time on Television Jamaica's YouTube channel or on onespotmedia.com. We're also live on Music 99 and gojamaica.com. If you have questions on today's CSEC Theatre Arts, you can send them into Television Jamaica's Facebook page or Instagram at Television Jamaica. Today we're discussing, and that will be a surprise. We're going to be doing a warm-up activity, and this activity is significant to the topic that we'll be discussing today, as well as it will be a warm-up activity, as it is customary for us to do our warm-up activity before we begin our theatre arts class. So please get off those couches, get out the bed, and let's do some warm-up activities. Okay, good job. Now we're going to be going into the meat of the matter. Now, based on what we have listened to, I'm tired. Based on what we have listened to just now, I am supposing that you can already guess what today's topic will be. But if you're not sure, here goes. So, today's topic, it was already on the screen, is Caribbean cultural forms. Now we're going to be looking at what these forms entail, and I trust that you will read along with me. Caribbean cultural forms, these are traditional practices that are observed in commemoration of a significant part of Caribbean history. Now, there are several aspects of our history that should be captured, because not only will this teach us of our roots, but it encourages us to appreciate where we're coming from, where we're at, and where we are going. So, as the syllabus would have stipulated, we are focusing on 3 main cultural forms for 2019 to 2021. And these include Carnival, Landship, and Wakes. So let us read about Carnival. This is a festival that involves a musical procession and dancing. It is traditionally done during the week before Lent, and it incorporates the use of masquerade elements. Now, as you can see, the colors there are very radiant, very bright colors. So, Carnival is known to have brightly colored costume and whatever props they use are as colorful as well. Now, where did this form come from? This was introduced to the Caribbean by French slave owners, and this was introduced, like it is written here, in the 15th century. So the French slave owners, they would have introduced this form to the slaves. The slaves would have come with their African-influenced masquerade, but of course, they would have infringed their own cultural form on them. So the slaves, of course, add their twist to it and incorporated their own elements. So some of the elements that are African influence, we have the masks. So persons who wear the masks, especially if they're African influence, they would have a certain size, a certain shape. It would not be as colorful as those that were introduced by the French slave owners. So before Carnival became a thing where persons were skimpily dressed, Carnival showed its members or its participants wearing long dresses and hats, because of course these were some of the dresses that the French people would have worn, the French females would have worn. So they would have mimicked some aspect of the French culture or the European culture. Back when Carnival was introduced, the slaves would have used discarded materials as their musical instruments. So they would perhaps use old irons and drums that would have been thrown away by the military. So they would have used those items to engage themselves and to enjoy themselves when their masters weren't looking. So they would use this as a means of enjoying themselves and as a means of using this to deal with the harsh conditions of slavery. Now, similarly, we use music in today's society, whether it is to cheer us up, to change the mood. In the same way, they used it to bring about whatever change they needed to be brought about in their lives. So Carnival played a very important part in their lives, and it is still doing so. It is important to note that there are several characters or elements in Carnival that are present in other cultural forms. And we have, for example, we have the devil, who is a character from Carnival, and it can be found in the Jamaican Jankuno as well. So we have the devil, we have the bookman, we have Bam Bam Sally. We have several characters, and we're going to be looking at those shortly. But we can see that right across the board, where all the other Caribbean cultural forms are concerned, they have several similarities, right? So we're going to be looking at some of these characters shortly. So as was said earlier, the main colors there, they're red, yellow, blue, purple, and green. Now the traditional characters are not seen here. These are persons representing modern day Carnival. So for the traditional Carnival, we would have the dragon character, the devil, we would have Pitchy Patchy, and we would have the bookman character. This character from the Trinidad Carnival is the dragon. And since several persons would have passed through the Caribbean region, they would have, persons from different ethnic groups, they would have added their own influence to Carnival. So this dragon was influenced by the Chinese. So the different peoples that came through the Caribbean included the Chinese, persons from the Middle East, the African slaves who came, and Indians. So these persons helped to influence the myriad of things that are involved in Carnival. This one is the devil. This character is the devil. And this character has a huge head. The colors that they normally use is red, as is seen there, and yellow and black. Now the role of the devil in Carnival is to walk around and take the names of potential souls, persons who he deems as worthy of entering into his kingdom. So that's just a part of the character, the devil's role in Carnival. So it is not something that should be taken literally, or it is not something that we should be scared of. It's just a myth. It's just a way of expressing themselves in this form. Okay, so don't be scared of this devil whenever you see him. This character is the Pitchy Patchy character, and it is also seen in Jamaican Junkuno. Now take a look at the myriad of colors that you're seeing here. We have green, purple, blue, the shade black. Remember, black is not a color, it's a shade. Good. And we have the tint, white. We have orange. So the Pitchy Patchy character has pieces of fabrics attached to whatever clothing he or she is wearing. And this is a popular character in the Jamaican Junkuno as well as Carnival. This character is called the Bookman character, and the Bookman works along with the devil, and he also takes the souls of potential candidates and they write it in this big book. Let me see if anybody's name is here that I know. I'm seeing Abdul, Boise, Adolf. I trust that I'm not seeing anybody's name right here. So this character is the Bookman character, and he works along with the devil. I hope that you're taking note of all the characters that are found in Carnival and what other forms they are found in. All right? Now this is a video that we're going to be showing you, and this will take us to our next cultural form, which is landship. And landship is most significant to Barbados. So please take a look. All right, thank you for watching that video. Now, I want you to take note of the movements that you see happening in that cultural form called landship. Now, what country did I say this is most prevalent in? What Caribbean territory? Okay, good, because I know you said Barbados. Yes, so let us read. This is a dramatic dance. This is a dramatic dance form in which the members enact activities on a ship. Participants are usually dressed in naval uniforms and marching and performing to the music of the talk band. Now let us stick a pin right there. The talk band is a musical band that is sometimes used in the different forms. As was said earlier, some of the forms and the musical items, they overlap. So you would find the talk band in several other Caribbean cultural forms. So moving on, Landship also has a friendly society arm, which is an organization that helps to fund small obligations and its members whenever they are in need. And they provide assistance such as fees for funeral, school fees, etc. Now, the Landship form, Caribbean cultural form, as I've said, it is most prevalent in Barbados, and they create reenactment of what happened on ships, right, in the early 1800s. Now, the uniforms that you're seeing here would have been staff members on the ship. Some uniforms would be the captain or the sailor's outfit, costume, and some of the movements that you see them doing, they are recreating some of the movements that would have been done on the ship, whether it is the sailor's activity or any other person who worked on the ship. So they would recreate moments on a ship, and sometimes moments from slavery ship as well. But in terms of the friendly society arm of Landship, this group, this organization, what it does, it helps persons who are in need. So once you're a member, you would give your fee and they would have meetings, perhaps weekly, monthly. They would have their meetings and then they would give a membership fee. And this money would be pooled together, and whatever they needed money for, persons would have been able to borrow. The organization still exists, so let me not say was, right? Because it still exists in Barbados. So they would give their membership fee and they would receive whatever they needed. It had to be a need, right? So if you're thinking about borrowing money from Landship, think again. You have to be needy, not greedy. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Now, this is another video, but before we go to that, let us take a look on the previous slide again. The colors that you're seeing here, once again, the colors that you're seeing here, they are evident in other cultural forms. And there are myriads of cultural forms in the Caribbean. It's just that we're focusing on these three because CSEC stipulates that we focus on Carnival, Wick, and Landship for 2019 to 2021. So I want you to understand that at least two cultural forms, you must be au fait with them. You must be knowledgeable about them. You must be able to express yourself in robust ways, considering the fact that these are required by the CSEC body. All right, so we're going to be moving on to our next cultural form, and I want you to take a look at this video. So think about what that video, what Caribbean cultural form that is highlighting. And wake, the term wake might sound strange to you because it is a term that is not so widely used in Jamaica. But let us get our read on and see what it says. This is an observance carried out after the death of an individual. It is usually an all-night gathering, which is sometimes very solemn. In the Caribbean context, there are several terms that are used to capture the different forms of wakes, namely 9-night, set-up, and 40-night. Now, the 9-night, this takes place on the 9th night after the person's death. The African influence in this ritual suggests that the spirit of the dead takes 9 days to travel back home to Africa. So that is the idea with having this celebration, if you may, or memorial about the deceased person. So after 9 days, and remember now this is African influence, so that was their idea. That was their ideology, that after 9 days, the spirit would go back to Africa. So that is why they use that particular day, the 9th day after the death of the individual. Now, we've heard the term setup, we've heard the term 9-night. The setup is whatever activity that would have been done after the death of the person. Persons might come together to the person's yard and they would play domino or whatever game they can put their hands on just to comfort the bereaved family. So that is the idea of the setup. Though sometimes the terms are used interchangeably. But the 9 nights is definitely the 9th night after the passing of the individual. The 40 night, it is not celebrated by the wide populace. A number of persons from the Westmoreland area, and those persons are from the Yoruban tribe of Africa. They normally facilitate this kind of gathering, the 40 days, the 40 night idea. Now, although it says 40 nights, the celebration would have started on the 39th night after the passing of the individual. So funeral has gone, the 9-night, the setup has gone. Now they are having a memorial, and they would have started on the 39th night, and then they would go into the 40th. So that is where the idea came from. And like I said earlier, it is all African influenced. So a number of persons, they don't allude to this kind of idea, but this is a part of our African culture, and it is still done in Jamaica because we are trying to preserve those parts of our culture. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. We always have choice. If we want to be a part of it, we can. If we don't want to, we have our rights. So we are all about highlighting our history, our culture, and we have to remember that not only are they African influenced, but as I said earlier, we are going to, we have done this because we want to preserve our culture and we want to know our roots. All right, we're going to be taking a break now. More on School's Not Out after the break. Soon come.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to School's Not Out, your daily classroom for CSEC and CAPE subjects. Now, it is customary for me to start my class off with our tagline, which I forgot to say since I was so engaged in the warm-up activity. And I'm so glad that this is not the aspect of the course that has to do with dance, because the course is segmented into 3 areas: dance, and we have drama and stagecraft. So I'm not the dancer, and that was just a warm-up activity to get us engaged. So our tagline, and I want you to repeat each line after I recite it. Driving the vehicle of expression to remove conflict with resolution. Molding and nurturing new talents. Soaring on the wings of artistic excellence. All right. Now, we're going to take a quick look back at what was discussed before we go any further. We spoke about wakes, we spoke about landship, and we spoke about carnival. I want us once again to look at the similarities between each form and look at the differences as well. The differences with the costumes, the differences with the props, the differences with the movements, and the similarities as well. Because when we are discussing, now I'm intentionally repeating these areas because I want you to perform excellently on your CSEC examination. Now, it is important to note, let me just add that when you are attempting a question, it is important that you look at the verb in the sentence. Is this asking me to differentiate? Is this asking me to discuss? Is this asking me to elaborate? You have to look on those verbs because a number of times we give away our marks because we're not reading, we're not interpreting the questions properly. So ensure that you work on that area. So, the different areas, the different cultural forms that we looked at, wakes, we looked at carnival and landship. The colors of carnival, red, blue, green, yellow, purple, and we can see them in other forms as well. Here they are. take a quick look back at the characters and ensure that you remember the year in which it was introduced and the context in which the forms were introduced. I have a few questions that we're going to attempt, and I like to give away points. So, if you get your answer correctly, just get a notepad, by the way. Get a notepad and a pen, and if you get your answer correctly, just add the score, and I will tell you what score will be attached to each question. This question says, the place where actors stand waiting for their cue before going on stage. What is this called? So the correct answer would be the wings. The wings would be the correct area. The place where actors stand waiting for their cue before going on stage. Now, since you want to make it in time, you want to stay in the wings and not backstage or in the green room because you want to step up to the plate and do it well. What name is given to the stage which is surrounded by the audience seating on all sides? Is it arena? Is it thrust? Is it traverse? Is it a proscenium? Seems to me that it would be an arena. All right? Which of the following explains the challenge a director would encounter when using an arena stage for a production? Which of the following explains the challenge a director would encounter when using an arena stage for a production? An actor's back will be used for upstaging another actor. At no time will an actor's back be turned to the audience. An actor's back will be turned to the audience sometime. An actor's back will be turned to the audience all of the time. Now, the actor's back will be turned to the audience sometimes because it is an arena stage and it is circular in shape. And as we go further into these sessions, we will explain the origins of these types of stage. What is the name given to the theatrical personnel responsible for the creative vision of a production? Is it the director, the producer, the designer, or the stage manager? Now, next question. Nathan has been hired to provide technical services at the Best Village celebrations. Before arrival there, which of the following must he ensure happens? The equipment is free of dirt. The equipment needed is in working order. The equipment to be used is the least available. Money for the rental of the equipment is paid to the owners. So, eliminate and identify your correct answer. Next question. A character is on the stage during a live comedy show. The audience is not very involved in the performance. To be able to generate audience involvement, the actor should move further. Where? In order to generate involvement from the audience, where should the actor go? Should he go upstage, downstage, left of center, right stage? I think it would be downstage. How about you? Next question. During the preparation and execution of a production, the prompt book is the responsibility of, is it the stage manager, technical director, executive producer, properties manager? Whose responsibility is it? Very good. It is the stage manager indeed. So I want you to add up your points, and at the end, you see your total. While rigging lights for a production, the lighting technician notices that one of the wires is sparking. Which of the following is the next best course of action? Is it to ask everyone around to vacate the area immediately? Remove the wire from the switch in the affected area? Turn off the main supply of electricity to the affected area? Using rubber gloves to cover the spot on the wire with insulation tape? Observe, eliminate, and identify your correct answer. This item refers to the following information. The public relations manager of Open House Theatre posted the following advertisement. Stage manager needed for upcoming production must be disciplined, organized, and have good knowledge of production process. Which of the following best describe the advert above? The advertisement adequately outlines the qualities required for a stage manager. The advertisement does not adequately outline the qualities of a stage manager. The advertisement adequately outlines the roles and responsibilities of a stage manager. The advertisement does not adequately outline the roles and responsibilities of a stage manager. We're wrapping up. Which of the following reflects the correct order of the rehearsal process? Technical, dress, blocking, technical, blocking, or dress. These are important details to understand, and we trust that you will do excellently in your external examinations. Students, study hard. It is very essential that you beat the books and don't allow the books to beat you. I'm sure you don't want to be that guy. You really want to be that guy? All right, so that's the end of it for today. That's it for this lesson. You can catch a repeat of today's lesson on JNN later at 4 p.m. and in Schools Not Out. Highlights on Saturday between 1 and 4 p.m. It also will be on video on demand on onespotmedia.com. Blessings.